welcome back to my channel. My name is Gracie if you guys are new here. Happy Valentine's Day. This video is going live on Valentine's Day. For today's video, I'm going to be reading some romancy Valentine's Day ebooks. Here's the thing, for like the past 2 years, I have been religiously watching like booktubers, and I'm obsessed with watching booktube videos. And honestly, probably like 80% of what I watch on YouTube is booktube. And I have always wanted to film my very own booktube videos, so here we are. I wouldn't necessarily say that my channel is going to be a booktube channel, but I do think that I want to sprinkle some book videos in here and there, so here's my first one. I am extremely busy, so it's a little bit tough for me to read right now, but I did end up reading 2 books for this video, so you guys will get to see me at least read 2. And I feel like we picked some good ones, but I am new to the whole booktube reading vlog videos, so please forgive me if this video doesn't flow very well. I haven't edited it yet, so I really don't know how it ended up, but all I know is that I did read 2 books, 2 romance books for this Valentine's Day week, and I hope you guys enjoy watching my reactions and just kind of talking a little bit about these books. But with that being said, we're gonna take it back to me from a couple days ago when I was picking out my very first book for this video. And we do have a pretty good amount of options, because there's a lot of books on here that I have not gotten to yet. The book that's calling to me right off the bat, let me move my little trinkets out of the way, but the book that is calling to me right off the bat is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I'm pretty sure this book has strong Valentine's Day themes, and it is February, and this Friday is Valentine's Day, so this would be the perfect week to read this one. And like, just look at it. It's literally stunning. The blue hearts on the side, the sprayed edges are stunning. And this is a YA book, which means it might be a quick read. So I think I'm going to start with this one. Let's see how many pages it has. I'm pretty sure it's less than yeah, this is literally less than 300 pages. So in theory, I should be able to knock this one out pretty quickly. Okay, it's settled. The first book of this little reading vlog is going to be The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I literally love Lynn Painter so much. One of my favorite YA books is Better Than the Movies by her. I actually just got the special edition of Better Than the Movies. Let me show it to you guys. I now have 2 copies of Better Than the Movies because it's one of my favorite books. This is the just like original, and then Barnes & Noble came out with one that has sprayed edges, and I literally had to get it. It was also their like book of the month in the cafe, so if you bought something from the Starbucks in Barnes, you could get this one for $5, so it was a no-brainer. I had to get it. But I do think that it is the perfect week to read a bunch of romance books since it's literally Valentine's Day week. Here's the synopsis for The Do-Over. After living through a dumpster fire of a Valentine's Day, Emily Hornby escapes to her grandmother's house for a much-needed girl talk and companionship. There, Emily passes out on the couch, but when she wakes up, she's back in her own bed. That's not the only shocker though. Somehow it's Valentine's Day again. And the next day, another disaster V-Day. It seems that Emily is stuck in some sort of time loop nightmare that she can't wake up from as she rewatches her boyfriend Josh cheat on her day after day. In addition to Josh's reoccurring infidelity, Emily can't get away from the enigmatic Nick, whom she keeps running into, sometimes literally in unfortunate ways. How many days can one girl spend passively watching her life go up in flames? And when something good starts to come out of these terrible days, what happens when the universe stops dueling out do-overs? So, okay, literally the perfect Valentine's Day pick. This sounds like it's like a Groundhog's Day trope where the main character keeps living the same day over and over again, but it is set during Valentine's Day, so I'm really excited to read this one. I think it should be a quick read, so let's get started. Okay, right after I filmed that intro clip starting this video, I realized what time it was and that I needed to go to my brother's house like right then because we were all watching the Super Bowl together. So I haven't really read as much as I thought that I was going to, but I have been listening to a lot of it on Spotify, and then I've just started reading the physical copy now as well. And I'm on page 93, so I think I'm on chapter 9. Yeah, confession number 9. Which I think is technically chapter 9. And I'm liking it so far. I'm not usually the biggest fan of the Groundhog's Day trope, and I just think it's okay. This is a young adult book too, so it's a little bit more juvenile. But basically, if you don't know what the Groundhog Day trope is, it's basically where the main character goes to sleep and wakes up and relives the same day over and over again multiple times. And in this book's case, Emily, our main character, she is struggling. She's going through it. In the first chapter, where it was like the first time she lived Valentine's Day, literally everything horrible that could happen happened to her. So she really has just had like the worst day possible, and she keeps waking up and reliving the same day over and over again, and she's trying to like change the outcome. I think the reason that I struggle with the Groundhog's Day trope is because it's kind of hard to see like the connection building between the two characters, because while she's reliving the same day over and over again and realizes it, the other person is not, so you don't really see that like connection forming and building. But maybe that'll change as I get a little bit further into the book. I'm only on page 93, so we'll see if that changes at all as we go forward. But I am really liking the Valentine's Day vibes. It's also very, very Swiftie coded. She's mentioned many different Taylor Swift songs. Lover has been mentioned. I think Coney Island was mentioned. So lots of Taylor Swift references, which I love because I'm a Swiftie. Also, Lynn Painter is just such a good author. I really love the way her books flow. I also am kind of psycho and listen to my audiobooks on 2.3x speed. So I'm like flying through the audiobook. Like I feel like I've barely sat down and read this, and I'm already on page 93. I think in my audiobook it says that I have like it says I have 6 hours and 1 minute left, which on the speed that I listen to is roughly around 3 hours, a little bit less than 3 hours. So I'm definitely going to be able to finish this tomorrow. But overall, to start out, I think this is a good start to my Valentine's Day week. And it's definitely getting me in the spirit. I'm excited to kind of see a little bit more of the connection between the female main character and the male main character kind of grow. So I will update y'all when I'm a little bit further in. Hi guys, it is now the next day. Today is Monday and it's actually like 8 p.m. right now. I had a full day of work. I worked 10 to 6 and I actually got a lot of reading done while I was at work. I ended up being able to like listen to some of the audiobook while I was doing like a random task. So right now I am on, where's my bookmark? I am on page 215. Literally so close to the end. We have like this much left. I'm probably gonna listen to it honestly while I clean up my room. I think I have about an hour of the audiobook left, but if I can listen to like 30 minutes and then read like 30 minutes, then that would be perfect. And then we can pick our next book for the week. But with that being said, I am going to put on my headphones and listen to about 30 minutes of the audiobook while I clean up my room, because I've kind of just got some mess going on. I didn't even share any of my thoughts on this book. So far I'm liking it. I do think I'm not really loving young adult books as much as I used to, just because they're a little bit harder to get into, I feel like. But I think something I said yesterday about how I didn't really feel connected to the relationship because of like the Groundhog's Day trope, that has kind of worn off a little bit. Because I am kind of being able to see that connection. Also, the last couple chapters that I've read, the girl, Emily, has just kind of gone like off the rails because she thinks that she's going to wake up the next day and no one's going to remember anything that happened that day. So she's kind of being a little bit cringy and crazy, to be honest. And I just have a feeling, I haven't gotten there yet, but I just have a feeling that after this day, she's going to wake up and it's going to be February 15th and she's not going to be able to relive the day that she just had, because Miss Girl has gone off the rails, and I just think that's going to catch up with her. I'm going to go listen to some of this. I'll probably catch back up with you guys when I finish the book. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I didn't end up finishing the do-over last night because I ended up getting really swamped with my school stuff. So I literally only have one chapter left. I woke up this morning and while I was drinking my coffee, I read some of it on my phone. So let me see. I'm pretty sure I'm on the last, like the very last chapter. Yeah, so I'm on the last chapter and that is 92%, and there's only 11 minutes in this chapter. So I'll probably finish this while I'm on my lunch break at work, and then I can start my new book. I'm gonna finish this today, and then I will come back with my final thoughts and my rating, and then we will pick our next book. All right, y'all, it is a cold and nasty day, but I just finished my training for work, and it got out about 2 hours early, and I really need to get my nails taken off. I ripped this one off and I'm regretting it. But I don't really want to pay for like a full manicure right now, I don't think. So I think I'm just gonna go pay to get them soaked off because I don't have any pure acetone with me. But I have to drive like 30 minutes into town to do any of this. But I think we're just gonna do it because this is the only day I have before I leave for my trip to get these off of my nails. But with that being said, I did finish the do-over. I don't know if I mentioned that already. I can like talk more about it a little bit later. But I think the book that I'm going to read right now is going to be Funny Story by Emily Henry. I'm actually already halfway through, but I haven't read it in like 3 weeks, so I kind of don't really remember what was happening. But I'm just going to pick back up on the audiobook. Let me see where I left off on the audiobook on Spotify. I'm on chapter 17, so we only have, there's 38 chapters. It says that there's 5.5 hours left. So I think I'm just going to start listening to this and hopefully it'll jog my memory. I think Funny Story is a good one because I really did enjoy it while I was reading it, but then I just put it down and kind of didn't think about it again for some reason, just because I got busy with like work and school and stuff. So I'm just going to play Funny Story and listen to it on my 30-minute drive into town. I also have my AirPods so I can listen to it while I soak my nails off. And then maybe we'll get a coffee or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and start listening to Funny Story. I just got home from being in town and I listened to a good bit of Funny Story. So I'm 75% through the book. I'm on chapter 27. I'm actually really loving Funny Story. I was able to immediately pick back up where I left off and it all just came like flooding back to me, everything that I'd already read from a couple weeks ago. But I'm really loving this book. I knew that I would because Emily Henry is just amazing. And every single book that I've read by her, I've loved. Her books are super romantic, but also have like such a strong like emotional depth to them. And I'm just like really connecting with this one specifically. There's Daphne. So basically, but it's so good. And Miles is everything. I love Miles. He's so chill. He's so caring. Like you can just tell from how he interacts with Daphne and the things that he does for her, the things that he remembers about her. Like he is just so caring. I'm waiting on Miles and Daphne to just like seal the deal and start dating, but so far that has not happened yet. But I'm really excited for when that comes because they're just so perfect for each other. So let me update you guys on Funny Story. I'm not finished yet, but I do have like 20 minutes of the audiobook left. I've mostly been listening to it. I sat and junk journaled last night for a good while and just listened to it the whole entire time. Okay, yeah, I'm on chapter 36 and there's only 38 chapters. So I'm right there at the end. I'm 94% of the way through the book. So I think I'm just going to sit down and listen to the rest of it real quick. It'll literally be like 20 minutes. So I'm gonna do that and then I will come back with my thoughts. Spoiler, so far, literally loving it, and I do think it is a 4 or 5 star. I think once I finish it, that'll really help me kind of decide whether it was a 4 or a 5 star. And I think I'm just going to listen to it quickly, but it's really good. I finished Funny Story by Emily Henry. It was so good. And I don't know why I waited so long to finish the second half of the book because I was hooked from the beginning, honestly. And then I just got so busy with school and stuff. So I guess I do kind of know why because I just got busy. I also started a new job like as soon as I started reading that book. So my priorities were just elsewhere for a little while. But genuinely, Funny Story was so good. I'm really bad at explaining like the synopsis of books. So make sure to look it up or watch someone else's video if you're like really interested on the plot line. I just think that Emily Henry is such an amazing author. Her books have a lot of romance to them, but there's also just so much depth. I know I talked about this yesterday. There's just so many different like subplots happening other than like the main romance plot line that just really like tug on your heartstrings, and we really get to know like most of the side characters' backstories as well, and I just find that that really creates like a more well-rounded story. I love Miles so much. I think he's my favorite Emily Henry like book boyfriend for sure. He's just such a fun and like positive and uplifting spirit. So it was just really fun to read about him, and I feel like him and Daphne just go together so well. They're opposites, but also it just like they gel, if that makes sense. I just thought it was so good. And there wasn't like a traditional third act breakup necessarily, but there were of course like a couple obstacles at the end of the book, and I thought that those obstacles were very realistic and definitely just helped strengthen their overall relationship. Honestly, I just really loved it, and I think I'm gonna rate it a 4.5. I think it might have maybe been a 5-star if I would have read it all in one sitting, but I think because I read the first half, took a 3-week break, and then picked it back up, there was just a little bit of disconnect for me, but that's like my fault. So I don't think that's the book's fault, but I think overall it wasn't fully 5-star feelings, but it was so good. So I highly recommend it if you're looking for a romance book. Also, this is literally the week of Valentine's Day, so I'm happy that I got to read 2 romance books in this video. I don't think I'm gonna read a third for this video because I really would like for this to go up on Valentine's Day. I think I'm just gonna read 2 for this week, but that's really good for me. Normally, I've been reading like 1 book in the span of like a week. So I would call this a success, and I do feel like I'm out of my slump. So to recap, we ended up reading The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, which was a YA romance, and it was good. It definitely kind of gave the Valentine's Day vibes that I was looking for. It's kind of funny reading both a YA romance and then an Emily Henry book in 1 week because they're just so vastly different. But overall, I had such a fun time reading these books, and this was a really fun video. I might try and film this style of video again, like a reading vlog, or try and incorporate some more book videos on my channel, just because I do really enjoy reading, but I'm so busy. So I might just kind of end up filming these reading vlogs kind of in the background of my other videos and just over a longer period of time. That way I can read more for the videos. I hope you guys have an amazing Valentine's Day, and be sure to subscribe if you like me, like my channel, like my content. I'm gonna try and post more like lifestyle content. I'll mix some books in there, maybe some theater things, we'll see. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video today, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! Bye everybody, subscribe to my mom's channel!